This episode of Man of Prestige, you tell her that you're doing well and she's going to regret not being patient with you, even if you messed up. Okay, so the third way to make a woman regret losing you is to acknowledge losing her. The second way to make a girl regret losing you is to be that guy. Are you that kind of guy that a lady will say, I regret losing that girl? Or that guy rather, right? I regret losing him. I should have been patient. Are you that guy? So let's say obviously you weren't that guy. Not, at least not for her, based on how she thinks. Let's assume she's wrong. At least you were not that guy for her, right? So yeah, granted, can she look into the past and say you were not that guy? It doesn't matter. We don't get obsessed over the past. Men of prestige, we don't get overly obsessed over the past. We don't get overly obsessed over the future. Awesome. What's going on? This is Ola coming to you live, my Empire Pro Studios. All right, so today we're talking about three ways to make a woman regret losing you. This is going to be an interesting one, I promise. And I got a very quick tip for you towards the end of this video that will make this even better. So make sure you stick around all the way to the end of this video. The three ways that I want to share with you, there are probably more than one way, more than 2 or 3 ways, but I just want to if you figure out just one out of these 3 ways, you'll be way ahead of the curve. Okay, when I say curve, as an average guy who is in this situation, right? I understand the feelings, I get it. I completely get it. Even though I've been married for 14 years, believe it or not, we go through these things on and off inside of our own even long-term relationship commitment, right? And sometimes a woman will just show certain behaviors, and you do want this situation where she can feel like she's lost you, right? And it's not always a cerebral thing as usual, but it's something that could be a very useful tool if you find yourself in a situation where your wife or your girl or your girlfriend is caught up in their emotions and they've basically cut the cord, right? It could be temporary, it could be short term, it could be long term. It's the same thing essentially, and it's really not that different. And a lot of people will try to make it seem different to you. There's some things different from long term to short term, but there's a lot of things that are very common in these scenarios. Okay, so 3 ways to make a woman regret losing you. I'm going to start from 3 to 1. The third way, okay, the third way to make a woman regret losing you is to acknowledge losing her. Okay, I know, crazy. I'm holding men accountable again, right? Yes, I do, because I believe that's your biggest leverage point. When you hold yourself accountable, when you look in the mirror, which again, this video is a form of a mirror. You can look in your mirror, and here's why I said you want to acknowledge losing her. Why do you care so much about making her regret losing you? That reason, whatever emotion is going through you that make you feel like you have to make her feel like she's lost you and regret losing you, also tells me that you feel like you've lost a girl, right? Or there is a little flip side to that. It could also be because you just want to hurt her back. You feel hurt and you want to hurt her back, right? It could be that as well. Well, for the second part, I would say there's nothing healthy about that for yourself. You're going to self-sabotage and self-destruct by focusing too much on trying to destroy another person from that standpoint. I get it. I always talk about this is also a power dynamics, but one of the things you want to do when you go into this kind of war is want to make sure that you're not operating from a blind spot. Okay, so there's this blind spot right now, which is acknowledging that you lost her, acknowledging losing her. Once you admit to yourself, like, yeah, I actually value being in a relationship with that girl and I lost her, then you can basically settle into yourself, and you're in a better position to move forward. Because the key thing here is trying to move forward with or without her, right? So I know you like the sound of that, with or without her. Is it possible that you could attract this girl back? What I'm telling you right now creates the best chances that you can attract her back. Okay, and that's basically letting go. You gotta let go. You know, you gotta let go, and then also acknowledge to yourself, like, yeah, I hate that. I hate it, but I lost that girl, right? So when you do that, that also puts you in a space of mindset where the way you move, it is highly likely that she will regret losing you, because again, it's a small world. Somebody will tell her, she will find out how you're doing, even if she doesn't want to know. Let's say she's so angry, worst case scenario, and she doesn't want to know how you're doing, right? Somebody's gonna, if it was a significant enough relationship, somebody's gonna bring that to her. They'll tell her that you're doing well, and she's going to regret not being patient with you, even if you messed up. Okay, so the third way to make a woman regret losing you is to acknowledge losing her. The second way to make a girl regret losing you is to be that guy. Are you that kind of guy that a lady will say, I regret losing that girl, or that guy rather, right? I regret losing him. I should have been patient. Are you that guy? So let's say obviously you weren't that guy, not, at least not for her, based on how she thinks. Let's assume she's wrong. At least you were not that guy for her, right? So yeah, granted, can she look into the past and say you were not that guy? It doesn't matter. We don't get obsessed over the past. Men of prestige, we don't get overly obsessed over the past. We don't get overly obsessed over the future either. We set plans and goals for the future. We learn from the past, but we understand the importance of staying in the present. You have to learn how to live in the present, right? So I'm talking about being that guy right now. Like I said earlier, somebody's going to take that back to her and tell her how you're doing. You want to focus on being that guy that any girl would regret losing, or would not want to lose, right? Or would not want to fall out of love with, right? See, ladies, when they love you, they will help you. They will tell you things, and upsetting things that may upset you sometimes, that will make you fly off the handle, right? But when they are in love with you especially, they will help you. And where does that in love thing comes from? It's because you've sown enough seeds that they're really that much in love with you, even if you make mistakes every now and then, because no one is perfect, right? But let's say you were really running on an empty tank and that happened. It doesn't matter. The past really doesn't matter. Forgive yourself, move on fast. Be that guy today. The first, last, but definitely not the least, is don't wait for it. The last thing you want to do is wait for waiting around and watching if she's going to regret losing you. This is the best chances. This is how you create the best chances that she will never regret losing you. As a matter of fact, she would rather regret ever being with you. She would hate the day she met you. Why? Because you're dwelling on the past. You're hanging around, being emotional tampon, trying to measure if she regret losing you. Don't wait for it. So when you hang around waiting for her, you will end up with a mindset that basically will reflect on how you move. And of course, there's no way she's gonna regret losing you, because again, like everything else, she's gonna find out, right? She's gonna find out that you're still a dusty that she left behind, and of course, she's gonna, instead of regret losing you, she's gonna regret ever meeting you. Okay, so don't wait for it. When you don't wait for it, you don't focus on the wrong thing. You focus on your personal purpose. You focus on being a man of prestige, and you let the universe do what it does. To bring things back together if they belong there, if they are meant to be. And you also dramatically, by doing that, you dramatically increase the chances that she will regret losing you. Okay, this is how life works. There's no magic pill or anything like that. The magic pill is reminding you and being consistent in your purpose.